Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to our first weekly reading vlog of the year, which is so exciting. So I'll be starting off this vlog on a Monday. We're gonna do a weekly reading vlog of Monday to Friday and see how much I read. I'm currently a grad student and at this point in time I'm doing a lot of work on the microscope, and it doesn't take too much brain power. I don't need to recollect anything. I just need to identify something and then I write it down right away. It's really not that deep, but my point is that I don't need a lot of brain power, so I'm going through a lot of audiobooks at the moment. We can just jump right in and start our reading for the week. Hi guys, I'm jumping in for my first update of the reading vlog. We are Tuesday. I know I really wanted to start this on Monday, and technically we did start on Monday. I'm just coming in for an update starting right now, Tuesday, because I was not feeling it last night. It's not that serious, we can just update today. First order of business is Kingdom of Ash. So starting off this reading vlog, I was at chapter 116. I have finished the book. I finished it last night. I don't feel like I need to chat too much about this book on this reading vlog because I didn't like read a ton of it with you guys, unfortunately, but I have been reading this book for about a month at this point, like on and off. It was a busy time through the holidays and everything like that, but when I would pick up a book, I would pick this one up. She was hefty and I'm so excited to have it finished and put it on my shelf. What a trophy, honestly, to have read this. That's so fun in terms of the reading and the reading experience. I'm definitely a big fan of this series. I don't think I'm quite as obsessed with it as some people seem to be, but I still really enjoyed it and I'm glad to have finally read it, and I think that this is definitely one of the most satisfying ending to a series. And like, after putting so much time and effort and love into a series, to know that it has a satisfying conclusion and a proper conclusion and that there is a conclusion is really nice. So anyways, enough about Kingdom of Ash, but this is our first book read of the week. Then the audiobook that I picked up yesterday was The Rose Bargain. I got quite a ways through this, page 262, and this book is so good. I'm really enjoying it so far. And then this morning I read up to 334. So like another 70 pages. So I just have a little bit left. I think I can finish this today. That'll be my goal. And then yesterday I also started The Nightingale. Now this book I knew was going to be heavier, and it was. Like, even in the first few chapters that I've read, I was already tearing up and stuff. So I took a break from The Rose Bargain yesterday afternoon because I knew that I wouldn't want to be reading this in the mornings and stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to pick at this one a little bit throughout the week. And then I think my last update is for Twisted Lies. I was on page like 330 when I picked this up, and I read to chapter 40. So that brings us to page 412. So I read like 85 pages this morning. I have a bit over 100 pages left to go. So I'm hoping that today I can get a little bit further through this, as well as I'd like to get through this. I'm thinking of continuing on with Rebel Witch and then plugging along with this one as well. So we'll see how all that goes. I'll update you guys for sure, but I just want to do a little bit of a catch up and then a little bit of like what the plan is going to be going forward. But yeah, anyways, that is our Tuesday afternoon reading vlog catch up. Alright, we are Wednesday evening, early evening. I just got back from school and oh my gosh, it is crazy out there. There's so much snow. It was really crazy to walk in. But anyways, I would like to do a reading update. As you guys saw, I finished The Rose Bargain and I really liked this book. I am so excited for the sequel that's going to come out later this year. I thought the idea of this plot was really good. I didn't love where it ended, like where the plot decided to go, like 3/4 of the way through, and I didn't love the ending. Anyways, so I have definitely mixed emotions about this. I think it was good. I don't think it was like the best ever, but I think it was exactly what I expected. I think I'm gonna sit on my readings and talk about them all at the end, not to be annoying, but just because I need some time to think about them, especially when I'm reading so many books like back to back. Then today I picked up and finished Rebel, which I had already started this book before. I think we chatted about that. I was a bit under halfway, but I finished it today. I really wanted to love this because I really did enjoy Heartless Hunter when I read it last year, but I found this one to be a little bit underwhelming. I felt that it was quite predictable. I feel like there was like a twist or whatever, and I feel like that wasn't as unexpected as the author thought it was. And also the whole trope of like knife to your throat kind of thing, I think gets really old really quick, both with like your enemies to lovers, but also just with everyone. Like if there's two rival sides to a conflict, doing the knife at the throat thing, it only works if you actually pull the trigger sometimes, and like if the other person always gets away, then it kind of loses its high stakes and it just gets annoying. And that's how I felt about this book. But I'm still glad that I read it. I don't think it was like a bad book. I feel like I'm being really harsh with it. I think I just was a bit underwhelmed because I liked the other one so much, and I just at this point don't think it needed a duology. I think it should have been maybe a bit of a thicker standalone. Then moving on to the books that I'm in the middle of, I have made some headway with Nightingale today. I am over halfway through now, just over 300 pages. I will say it is very good. It's pretty interesting. It definitely holds your attention. It took me a little while to get into it. Basically at the point I was yesterday, maybe about 100 pages in, I really got into it, but it is quite heavy. I don't think that's a secret. It definitely deals with the realities of World War II, and it definitely puts you in the shoes of its different characters, which I think is a nod to the really great writing, but it does feel very heavy. So it's just sort of difficult to read for hours and hours every day. And then on a very different note, I am still reading Twisted Lies. I really wanted to finish this the other night, but I didn't sit down with it for that long, and I'm only 4 chapters further, but I'm excited to finish this soon. And then actually I didn't bring this book over, but also The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. I read 2 chapters today during my lunch break, so also making a bit of headway there. That is my update. Currently in the middle of 3, but finished 2 since our last update. Friday morning. I didn't update yesterday. I wasn't feeling great, so I didn't read that much yesterday, but I did get through a lot of Nightingale, so I'm like 77% of the way through, so I'm definitely gonna finish that today. And then in terms of starting another book, because I didn't just want to be reading the Nightingale, it's really heavy like I said, so I started Gifted and Talented. I read some more this morning, so I think I'm like 20 something percent through now, and it's fine. I don't think it's my favorite. I don't love the tone of the book. I think it might just be for a different audience. So my goals for today are to finish the Nightingale, definitely. I think I might keep this vlog going through the weekend because I really want to finish every book that we chatted about in this video. So I want to finish Gifted and Talented, and I want to finish Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. So those are my plans. We'll see how that goes. We have another day of microscopy in front of us, so another good day for my audiobook. Friday evening, coming in for a reading update. I'm so tired. It's like 7:15 and I just got home. So I stayed a lot later than I thought I would. I got a lot more reading done from Gifted and Talented. I think I talked about that this morning, and I said I was like aiming to get to like 50% or something like that. I don't know if I spoke on it. Let's start with the first book, which is Nightingale. I finished this today, and it was not a good choice for the microscope while I was working because I was literally in tears, and there was someone else in the lab, and I'm just here like crying my eyes out. This book was really good. I gave it 5 stars. I know I'm going to talk about all the other books and everything at the end, but I just wanted to, I mean, that's my rating for this one. It's not that hard. It was really good. It was very emotional. It was interesting how she decided to wrap everything together at the end. Yeah, it was just really heartbreaking, but also really beautiful in the same way. Yeah, I don't read a lot of historical fictions, but this has made me want to read more in a little while. Like, there's definitely no rush because this was definitely heavy hitting and I needed something light. I'm gonna need something light to pick me up after, but I'm glad to have finally read it. This is such an iconic book, I feel, and I feel like I hear so many people talk about it, and I just see it on like all the best reads lists and everything like that. So I'm glad to have finally read it, and yeah, what an amazing book, honestly. And then progressing with my Kindle read, I'm on chapter 25 now. That's my update. I only read like 2 chapters. It was kind of interesting though. I think things are kind of picking up and making more sense, but this book just definitely still feels a little bit all over the place to me. There's just so many characters at this point. It feels a little chaotic. But anyways, speaking of chaotic, we have Gifted and Talented. This book is chaos. This book has like, I don't want to say no plot, but it's like definitely mostly a character story, and I am liking it. I'm almost done because I stayed so much later than I thought I was going to. I'm just like 2 chapters away from finishing it, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm too tired to fully process all my thoughts on this book right now, but it's interesting. Like I said, definitely heavy on the characters. When I started the book, it felt, I want to come up with a different word other than chaotic, but yeah, chaotic, overwhelming. Like, you're really thrown into everything, and it basically just explores what happens to 3 siblings after their father passes away. Kind of a whirlwind. I don't know if I needed to read this, you know what I mean? I did really like the narrator in here. Like, it is different POVs, but the voice that it's used to narrate through all the different POVs I think was really fun and refreshing. It's a bit removed, and there's like humor in here. It's very dark and dry humor, and I think it can sometimes be really pretentious, and that really bothered me. I don't know, you just gotta take it with what it is, I guess. I don't know when I'm gonna rate this. I mean, I have to finish it first. Anyway, so those are all of my updates. I don't see myself reading too much today, but I do want to continue this vlog over the weekend. I have decided I'm going to try it, and I'm hoping that we can finish the books that we're in the middle of. I'd like to finish both of these before the end of the weekend. Obviously, I'll probably finish this one, but this one will be a bit of a challenge. But if I can get to the majority of it done, that would be really awesome. This has been started for such a long time, so I really want to use this vlog as well as like motivation to finish this. So I don't know, according to my Kindle, I think I have like 6 or 7 hours of reading left in the book, so hopefully I can find that time this weekend. That is my update for now, and good night. Oh my god. All right, that brings us to the very end of the week. Right, hi guys, I was just editing this video and I realized I never came in to wrap up all the books that I read. So it's been a little while since I finished these books, not that long, but anyways, we're gonna go through all the books that I mentioned or read in this video, and we're gonna do a quick little final thoughts and final ratings for everything. So I think this is the order that I read them, but I know the first one that I finished during the reading vlog was Kingdom of Ash. I didn't read a ton of this during the reading vlog. I really just finished it, the last few chapters. This is such an amazing book. It is definitely one of the best conclusions to a series I've ever read. Incredibly satisfying. I honestly really miss being in this world. I never understood people who would like not finish a series because then like they would have to say goodbye to the characters, and I think that this is definitely the first book where I understand where people are coming from with that, because I do miss these characters and I do miss being in this world quite a bit. So this is like such an easy 5-star. Then the next book that we read was The Rose Bargain. I really liked this book. I liked how there was like fantasy elements, but it was really more of like a Regency setting. I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, I'm so excited for the next book to come out in this duology. I think I would rate this like a 4.25 stars. Then we read Rebel Witch. I think I already explained my thoughts on like how I was a little bit disappointed in this book, just because it felt a lot of like going in circles and a lot of like repetition from the first one in a way, and things that were supposed to be surprising like didn't feel super surprising and everything like that. But I still really did enjoy the book. I think I would rate this like a 3.75 stars. It was still super enjoyable. I just think the first one was like close to a 5 stars, so it just wasn't quite the same, but still really liked it.
Then I read The Nightingale. This is, I believe, my first historical fiction, at least one that is so prominently set during such an important time period. I really liked it. I wasn't sure how I would feel. I tend to stay away from like sad books and things like that, but this was really, really incredible, and I'm so happy that I read it. Like I said, I wasn't really expecting to love this book, but I absolutely did, and I definitely think about it quite a bit. It definitely leaves you with a lot of thoughts, and absolutely loving the characters that we had to follow. It was really, really good. I think this was the only book that I gave a rating to during the reading vlog, and that rating definitely still remains the same. This is definitely a solid 5 stars. Then I read Gifted and Talented. I have really mixed thoughts on this. It's a very character-driven story, and I think that's sort of hard to do if you have such flawed characters. I feel like there was only one side character in here that I actually enjoyed reading about, and I didn't really connect with any of them, and so for a character story, that's really, really tough to enjoy, I think. So I think that my rating on this would be like a 2.75, maybe a 3 star. Then I finished Twisted Lies. I haven't loved this series so far. A lot of the books have been like 2 stars, 1.5 stars, like that sort of range. I would say that this is definitely my favorite in the series. I think if you're dating someone who is a morally gray, like head CEO of like a security company, you can't really be surprised or upset if he has a security file on you, because he would have a security file on everybody. Like he probably has a security file on his barista. So like I can't understand how you could get surprised or upset about something like that, because to me it was like, I don't know, I thought that that was going to be obvious. Like he definitely has files on everybody, and so like of course if he knows you, he's going to have a file on you no matter who you are. That struck me as a little bit odd, and then I think just the general like tone and stuff of this series wasn't for me, but I'm glad that I finished it, because like I said, I did still like reading this. It was still enjoyable, it just wasn't really my favorite. I also just found the writing so cringy at times. Like it wasn't like a ton cringy, but when it was cringy, it was really cringy. Like I would have to like drop the book for a second and be like, are we for real? Like, are we actually saying this right now? I think I would rate this like a 2.5 star. Yeah. Then the last book of this reading vlog was The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. I didn't finish this during like the weekend when I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep reading and hopefully finish this during the weekend. Absolutely not. This took me like another week. This is so dense, so it did take me like another week after that kind of to finish it. I really liked it. I thought the first half was kind of slow. I do think that it's like longer than it needs to be, but I would say the second half was really, really fun. The first half was like kind of slow and kind of just like reiterating like a lot of what we went through in the first book in this duology, so that was sort of like, I don't know, I was a bit torn on that. But yeah, I really liked this, and I don't know, I think in terms of my final rating, I'm like torn between a 4 star and a 4.25, but it's not that serious. So I don't know, I guess I'll just say 4 stars for this one. I really liked when all our side characters started to come in, and I'm hoping we see a little bit more of that in the third duology, but time will tell. Those were the 7 books that we finished during, well, I didn't finish this one during, but whatever. These are the 7 books that we read during my week.
Thank you guys so much for watching my weekly reading vlog. If you've read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts below, and hopefully I will see you in the next one very, very soon. Bye!